Akiri Line-Slinger versus Najeela the Blade Blossom. Sketchy hand. We've got plenty of colourless mana there, but can we get into white mana? We could try and ramp into an Inferno Titan. I'm going to risk that. If this mountain was a plains instead of a mountain, then we'd be sitting pretty there, because we could go for land tax and then skip a land drop next turn, just to help fix our mana. As it stands, our opponent might scoop here anyway. Actually, we might have been able to get down... No, we couldn't have got down Foundry Inspector there as well, I don't think, so we'll just pass it over. That's something for us to do next turn. Akiri Line-Slinger is a 2-mana Boros commander, 0/3, first strike and vigilance with partner. You get +1 to your power for each artifact you control. Well, there we go, we get into a white source off the top. So we just go for Akiri here, and we'll get down the Foundry Inspector as well. And then we might skip a land drop next turn if we think our opponent is going to make a third land. Then land tax will be effective, and that will fix our mana on both white and red, and we can get down an Inferno Titan, hopefully. Inferno Titan really is only here for backup, to help us get Akiri through. And we'll be able to blow up some warriors with that, because Najeela the Blade Blossom is a 3-mana 3/2. Whenever a warrior attacks, you can have its controller get a white 1/1 warrior token tapped and attacking. And then for Wooburg, untap all attacking creatures. They gain trample, lifelink and haste until the end of the turn, and you get another combat phase after this one. And our opponent's gotten down a Rushblade commander, so that will give warriors haste. Battle Skull will cost 4, so we can get down land tax and hope that our opponent gets down a land next turn. They'll have to, if they want to get their commander down. So let's get down the Batter Skull. That has living weapon, so it's a 4/4 vigilance with lifelink. We're not going to play the Buried Ruin. And we'll see if our opponent wants to block the Foundry Inspector with the Rushblade Commander. Apparently not, so we get a free Lightning Bolt on our opponent there. Every point of damage is going to matter here, I think, because I don't know if we're going to get commander damage on our opponent. We might just be somewhat trying to go wide this game. But our opponent does get down the third land, which means land tax will trigger. We can search our library for 3 basics and put them into our hand at the beginning of our upkeep. So we'll get down a mountain and go for Inferno Titan, I think. And down comes a Rakdos Signet. So they've decided to ramp as opposed to get down more warriors. They might have another 2-drop for us. Okay, Path to Exile, that will... Oh, do we want to go for that? I don't suppose... No, actually, I'm not going to go for that because I want to get 3 lands as opposed to just 1 with land tax. Path to Exile does put a land onto the field, but there's no guarantee that we're going to draw into more coloured lands. We need to fix both our red and white mana. So I'm just going to make use of land tax here. Alright, and we get a Cavern of Souls as well. We'll get down our mountain. And this way we can Lightning Bolt our opponent's warrior. So that's, well, actually we'll shock our opponent's warrior and then deal 1 damage to our opponent's dome. And then it's just a case of swinging in with both the Foundry Inspector and the Batter Skull. Yeah, and our opponent scoops there. They obviously didn't have any more removal. They should have played through until the next turn and drawn a card. They might have gotten into a board wipe. But just seems to be the case that people are far too eager to quit on Magic Online. Not a typical Akiri game, but we got to see her power grow quite a bit there. And you can see that we can either try and go wide or smash our way through with things like Inferno Titan and Batter Skull, or we can go Voltron in this deck. It just really depends what we run up against and what we draw into as well, obviously. But I hope you all enjoyed that. That was Akiri Line-Slinger, there she is, versus Najeela the Blade Blossom. I'm tribalkai on the EDH channel. Thank you for watching. Akiri Line-Slinger versus Leovold, Emissary of Trest. Hopefully we don't prey on our opponent too much again this time. With 2 lands in hand, so we've opted to keep. I think it's a plateau on turn 1 into Mother of Runes, and then we can get Akiri down. And our opponent's looking like they're going to get a turn 2 Leovold down. Yep, definitely with Nature's Law, so hopefully they don't have a wheel in hand. Leovold, Emissary of Trest, is a Sultai commander. 3/3 for 3 mana. Each opponent can't draw more than 1 card each turn. Whenever you or a permanent you control becomes the target of a spell or ability an opponent controls, you may draw a card. And Akiri Line-Slinger is a 2 mana Boros commander, 0/3 with first strike and vigilance. It has partner, and it gets +1 to its power for each artifact we control. Alright, Mishra's Workshop is pretty good, isn't it? But I'm going to leave that until next turn and hope that our opponent doesn't wheel us. Let's get down our commander now. And then hopefully we'll be able to protect Akiri from any targeted removal. But what we are really worried about here is wheel effects from Leovold, because it will make us discard our entire hand and not draw anything. That's what people love to do with Leovold. I'm going to let him swing in here because they may be trying to get us to tap the Mother of Runes. We could block with Akiri there and give it protection from any of the Sultai colours, but I don't think we're going to be worried too much about commander damage this game. Okay, Ancient Den. Yeah, I think it's just Mishra's Workshop here. Get down 1 Power Stone for more mana next turn. And then we'll get in a Bloodforged Battle Axe. And we'll swing in and hope that we don't see any flash creatures. Only 2 cards left in our opponent's hand now. So it looks like they're in top deck mode. But I imagine there's quite a few wheels in this deck, so the fact that they could top deck into one of those is quite frightening. Okay, target player takes an extra turn after this one. Return up to 1 target non-land permanent to its owner's hand. They're going to bounce the 1 Power Stone. I'm actually fine with that. It means that we're not having to tap down the Mother of Runes to keep Akiri in play. Okay, they got into another land. And Zendikar Resurgence, so they've got all the mana they could ever wish for. Don't know how many creatures they're going to be playing in Leovold, maybe just mana dorks. And decided not to swing in with Leovold, notably. Okay, well it's definitely Ancient Den, that's another artifact to give Akiri a buff. And then I think Gilded Lotus, and we will tap out the Gilded Lotus for Bloodforged Battle Axe. I think because we keep leaving up a single mana, our opponent might be worried about a Swords or something like that, but they're in top deck mode anyway, so it's not as if they're playing around that. See if we can get them to block with the bird here. Nope, they're going to block with Leovold. That is fine with me. Yeah, I don't know if they should have blocked with Leovold. They're not too close to commander damage yet. Okay, Coiling Oracle will draw them a card. And then the Coiling Oracle itself will get them into some card advantage as well. They get a 3 visits, so it's just more ramp. And I imagine we're going to see our opponent... No, they're not casting 3 visits, they're just going for Leovold, so it looks like they killed off Leovold for the card draw. We know that one of the cards in their hand is 3 visits, which they might as well get down now. Oh, Obnixilis reignited. We can give one of our creatures protection from black. So yeah, they're just going for the card draw, as you would expect. Some evasion here would be really good, going for that 3 visits that we already knew about. Alright, Bruce Tal is, when it enters and attacks, target creature, double strike and lifelink. I think Crucible of Worlds. And then we'll have 3, 4, 5, 6. So we can go for Bloodstained Mire from the graveyard. And then we can go for Sun Titan. Actually, we could kill the Obnixilis, but it's risky because it means that we're leaving ourselves open. We're leaving our commander open. But that does rely on them drawing into spot removal anyway. Yeah, if we give protection from green, then we can get straight through to Obnixilis here. So we might as well go Bruce Tarl, I think. Might as well gain some extra mana. Some extra life, I mean, not mana. And we'll just get down the Warm Power Stone and pass it back over to our opponent. After we swing in, obviously. We could get a lot of commander damage off on our opponent here. And potentially win next turn, but I don't want our opponent drawing more cards. Just one card is fine with me. Okay, Ancestral Vision, they've emptied their hand. Okay, yeah, so we just go a land from the graveyard. We can shock that in. And then it's a Felwar Stone, just for more power, onto Akiri. And then we'll get down the Sun Titan. If Akiri dies, we can put it into the graveyard and get it back with Sun Titan. Then we give Akiri protection from green again so that it can get through. And we'll go in with Bruce Tarl as well, just to give the Akiri double strike. Most likely Bruce Tarl is going to die this turn. Our opponent will probably trade the Leovold, but the Leovold will cost 7 to get back out again. And the Bloodforged Battle Axe comes down. Unfortunately, we don't have Sigarda's Aid, because if we did, the Bloodforged Battle Axe would get equipped ready for the second strike. But at least we get a couple of Bloodforged Battle Axe triggers. We will equip one of them for 2 mana. And we'll just hope that our opponent doesn't get into anything too good. They can draw a card. No, they just got into a land. They're not bluffing. They're just going to draw into another card with Leovold here. See if this does it for them. Extra turn spell, maybe? Well, card draw. They draw 3 cards and discard 2 cards unless they discard a land, so they've kept 2 cards in hand because they have a swamp. Oh, and there we go, there's removal, but they're using it on the Mother of Runes, which is interesting. The right move, actually, because that means we can't have Akiri get through next turn. But Sun Titan can bring back the Mother of Runes, so not too worried about that. And we can swing in with the ape. Our opponent, we don't have to get commander damage, our opponent's at quite a low life total. Okay, and a Bear Umbra, so that will keep the Leovold around when it dies. Let's see if we can get into some evasion for our Akiri. Okay, SRAM doesn't do anything. Bloodforged Battle Axe is just +2 to power, so let's put that on the ape. And then we'll go another land from the graveyard. We can get down SRAM. And this is when you cast one. Yes, so the Bloodforged Battle Axe entering the field will not trigger SRAM, unfortunately. But we're going to make our opponent need some removal here, because next turn we're going to get down the Mother of Runes trick again. Had we have not swung in at Obnixilis, we could have got commander damage off on our opponent already, but we don't know what extra cards they would have drawn into, I don't think. Well, they need to block our Akiri. Yeah, okay. They don't want us to see another Bloodforged Battle Axe. They're only going to be at 2 life now. And they obviously keep their Leovold around because the Bear Umbra has totem armour. But they don't get to recast Leovold for a card draw this time. Okay, they get Jace, Unraveller of Secrets. They can bounce one of our creatures here, but I think we can go wide on them now. Yeah, and they're going for the card draw anyway. Oh, Noxious Gear Hulk. Okay, that makes things more interesting. I'll be intrigued to see what they go for here. I think they have to go for Mother of Runes, really. Because we can... oh no, actually, we could give protection from black, and then they could chump with the bird. But they're going for Mother of Runes anyway. So we just swing in with everything next turn, and a couple of their things are going to die. Whatever it is that they choose to block with. It depends how they block. But we'll get back Mother of Runes anyway, with Sun Titan when we swing in. Assuming our opponent doesn't do something here. Oh, Nissa Vital Force is another creature in play. Yeah, they've managed to control the game long enough to make things an issue for us. So like I say, that is another body in play. Okay, Boros Charm is 4 damage to a player, I think. So there we go, that's a good draw for us. No need to drag the game out, we can just go for that and hope our opponent doesn't get into counter magic. But yep, there we go, we managed to do it. Yeah, Leovold managed to stabilise towards the end there, but luckily we just managed to get off enough damage onto our opponent that we got a win off there before they could fully stabilise, but they had plenty of chances with card draw from Zendikar Resurgent and Jace. What else was there? Compulsive Research of Nixilis. I think looking back at the game now, we could have won earlier had we not have swung in at Obnixilis, but there was obviously no way to tell what our opponent was going to draw into, and I really didn't want them drawing extra cards, but maybe in hindsight we should be more aggressive with this deck and always go for our opponent's face. Yeah, we'll keep testing and see what we need to do with this deck in 1 versus 1. Anyway, hope you all enjoyed it. That was Akiri Line-Slinger versus Leovold, Emissary of Trest. I'm tribalkai on the EDH channel. Thank you for watching.